30 minutes after eating. Doing this could decide how long you live. Do it to protect seniors' health. After every meal, the body doesn't just absorb energy. It also enters a crucial phase of digestion and regulation. Many people often overlook this post-meal period, quickly settling in front of the TV, lying down to rest, or rushing back to unfinished work. But those 30 minutes after eating are a golden window to enhance health, prevent diseases, and extend longevity, especially for the elderly. Post-meal habits act like a key that opens the door to either health or hidden illnesses. Done right, the body will better absorb nutrients, improve digestion, boost blood circulation, and reduce stress on the cardiovascular system. Done wrong, health can decline, toxins may accumulate, and the risk of stroke, diabetes, and digestive-related diseases increases. For seniors, whose digestive, cardiovascular, musculoskeletal, and nervous systems are already showing signs of aging, paying attention to simple but effective post-meal habits becomes more important than ever. And the most crucial activity during those 30 minutes is gentle, intentional, and moderate movement. There's no need for jogging or intense workouts. A few light stretching movements, a leisurely stroll around the garden, or even a few minutes of walking inside the house can make a huge difference to one's health. Gentle movement after eating helps activate the digestive system, supports metabolism, stabilizes blood sugar levels, reduces the accumulation of visceral fat, and lowers the risk of chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. An elderly body may no longer be as agile as before, but that's no reason to remain completely inactive after meals. In fact, inactivity slows down all bodily systems. No matter how nutritious a meal is, it cannot provide full benefits if followed by passivity and lack of movement. Blood circulation needs to be gently stimulated through walking, regulated breathing, and a clear, alert mind. Interestingly, even a few minutes of walking after meals doesn't just benefit physical health, it also improves mood. The body releases more feel-good hormones, the mind feels clearer and more refreshed, and sleep at night becomes deeper and more restful. This is one of the most natural ways for seniors to maintain hormonal balance and mental well-being, two vital factors that define the quality of life in old age. There's no need to wait until health problems arise to begin making changes. Prevention is always the wisest and most effective form of self-care. And it all starts with the smallest habits, like how we choose to use those precious 30 minutes after each daily meal. As we enter the later stages of life, the body can no longer maintain the flexibility and vitality it once had in youth. Each bodily system begins to weaken, from the digestive and cardiovascular systems to the nervous system. However, this doesn't mean we have to accept living with illness or inconvenience. Some simple yet proper habits can slow down the aging process, boost immunity, and extend life expectancy. Among these, gentle movement after meals is one of the most profound and long-lasting habits. When we eat, the digestive system begins to break down food and absorb nutrients. If the body is immediately put into a resting state, such as lying down or sitting still for a prolonged period, blood flows heavily to the abdomen to support digestion but is hindered by lack of movement. This can lead to bloating, gas, heartburn, and indigestion. Especially for seniors whose digestive systems are less responsive, these issues become even more common. Gentle walking stimulates intestinal activity, making digestion smoother. Food is broken down and absorbed more effectively, reducing residual fermentation in the stomach and decreasing the risk of ulcers, constipation, and digestive disorders, problems frequently experienced by older adults. Furthermore, metabolism is optimized, allowing the body to use energy efficiently and avoid excess fat accumulation. Beyond aiding digestion, post-meal activity has positive effects on the cardiovascular system. For seniors, the risk of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and stroke is significant, especially when combined with a sedentary lifestyle. After eating, blood sugar and fat levels tend to rise. If left unmanaged, this can eventually lead to type 2 diabetes and atherosclerosis. Walking or light activity after meals helps blood circulate evenly, preventing the heart from being overworked. Blood sugar levels stabilize gradually as muscles assist in utilizing glucose. This natural process helps regulate blood pressure, improve heart rhythm, and reduce cardiovascular strain. Those who maintain this habit often have more stable cholesterol levels and are less prone to angina or heart attacks in old age. Mental health also plays a critical role in maintaining a healthy, long life. After a meal, sitting idly or lying down can make the mind sluggish, tired, or sleepy. On the contrary, stepping outside, breathing fresh air, and soaking up gentle sunlight in the morning or evening can rejuvenate the spirit and clear the mind. A positive mood after eating not only calms the nervous system but also improves sleep quality. Seniors are prone to shallow, fragmented sleep, so creating favorable conditions for deep, restful sleep is essential. Those who regularly walk after lunch or dinner tend to fall asleep more easily, reducing insomnia, restlessness, or midnight awakenings. In addition to physical and mental benefits, regular movement after meals affects joint health, one of the systems most impacted by aging. Light walking and gentle movement help lubricate joints, maintain muscle flexibility, and prevent stiffness or numbness. Many older adults often complain of back pain, sore knees, or difficulty standing and sitting, most of which stem from a lack of regular movement. After each meal, just a few minutes of slow walking, paired with light stretching exercises, can noticeably improve mobility over time. However, the key isn't about how long or how intensely you move. What matters most is consistency and suitability. A light step, a simple stretch, or a stroll around the yard is enough to make a positive impact. Good health doesn't come from grand or complex routines, but from the commitment to doing the smallest things each day, at the right time, and with self-love. Post-meal activity also helps stabilize body weight, an important factor that directly affects longevity and resistance to illness. As we age, our metabolic rate decreases. Without careful dietary and physical activity management, weight can either increase rapidly or drop suddenly, both of which negatively impact health. Walking after meals burns some calories, reduces abdominal fat accumulation, and lowers the risk of developing related conditions. Furthermore, post-meal movement supports the immune system. A regularly active body enables immune cells to work more efficiently, increasing the ability to fight off bacteria and viruses. This is particularly vital since seniors are more susceptible to colds, pneumonia, or infections during weather changes. A body that moves consistently and moderately has stronger natural immunity and is less affected by small environmental changes. We must also consider emotional well-being and connection. For older adults, loneliness can be an invisible enemy that directly harms health. If walking after meals is shared with loved ones, friends, or even friendly neighbors, the activity becomes a joy, a time for connection and sharing. A light-hearted conversation, a smile, a simple greeting, each of these can become a priceless tonic for the soul. Although exercising after meals offers numerous benefits, if not done properly, its effectiveness may decrease or even lead to unintended negative effects. One of the most common mistakes is engaging in physical activity too soon or too vigorously right after eating. When the stomach is still in the initial stage of digestion, intense movements can divert blood flow away from the digestive organs, causing disturbances such as stomach pain, nausea, or even acid reflux. Therefore, it's recommended to wait at least 15 to 30 minutes after meals to allow the body to adjust before beginning light activities. On days with pleasant weather, stepping outside into the yard, balcony, or a nearby park to walk in the fresh air can greatly enhance the positive effects. However, if conditions don't allow, walking along a hallway at home or simply moving around the room is already enough to make a positive difference. The space for movement doesn't need to be large, just clean, well-ventilated, and safe to avoid the risk of falling, which is a major concern for the elderly. Clothing for post-meal activity should also be chosen carefully. Loose, comfortable clothing that absorbs sweat and isn't too thick will help regulate body temperature and reduce the risk of catching a cold or becoming dehydrated. Footwear should be light, soft, with flat soles and good traction to protect the knees and ankles, and to avoid slipping on tiled floors or damp surfaces. To enhance the benefits, the elderly can combine movement with some relaxing activities like deep breathing, listening to soothing music, or focusing on each step taken. This helps the mind fully relax, reduces anxiety and stress, and brings the spirit back to a calm inner state. When the mind is at peace, physical health also improves in a more sustainable way. A small glass of warm water after a gentle walk can support metabolism and soothe the stomach lining. However, it's best to avoid drinking too much water immediately after meals or while moving, to prevent putting pressure on the digestive system. Everything should be done slowly, moderately, and with close attention to the body's signals. Beyond physical movement, creating a healthy living environment after meals also contributes to sustainable health. A room with natural light, a few green potted plants, or the gentle scent of essential oils can make seniors feel more comfortable while walking around their home. These small changes not only help relax the mind but also bring a sense of happiness and contentment in their own living space. On rainy or overly hot days, movement can be replaced with simple stretching exercises in place, such as rotating the wrists or ankles, raising the shoulders, or reaching upward. Even small movements, if done regularly after meals, offer great benefits for the circulatory system, digestion, and joint health. There's an interesting truth backed by numerous studies. Those who maintain a habit of light post-meal movement every day tend to live longer, experience fewer chronic illnesses, and enjoy a higher quality of life in old age. There's no need to wait until health declines to start making changes. It's the daily small actions that are the best prevention and the key to long-term wellness. The most important thing isn't how many steps are taken or how far you walk, but the consistency and the mindfulness in taking care of yourself in each moment. A healthy body doesn't come from grand decisions made in an instant. It comes from loving yourself through small, everyday acts. Many older people have shared that just stepping out of the house for a few minutes a day, taking deep breaths, looking at the trees and the sky, gives their bodies new energy. Aches and pains ease, their mood brightens, and the sense of loneliness fades. Movement is not just a physical act but a way to reconnect with oneself, with nature, and with the life around us. After a meal is a time when the body begins the process of recovery and regeneration. Treat that time as a gift to yourself. Not distracted by work, not absorbed in the phone or TV, but simply time to slow down, care for the body, and feel each movement of life. Old age is not the end of life. It's the beginning of a slower, more meaningful, and deeper journey. And to make that journey lighter and more sustainable, start with the simplest thing. Take a few minutes after each meal for gentle movement. It's a way of saying thank you to your body, a silent promise to yourself that, I'm still taking care of this life more fully each day. There are things that may seem small and insignificant, yet they are the very elements that create lasting differences in our lives. A gentle walk after a meal, a deep breath in the stillness of the moment, a minute of pause in the rush of time. These simple acts serve as solid bricks that build a foundation of health, serenity, and longevity. Old age is not a time to sit and passively accept what life has already decided. On the contrary, it is a precious opportunity to choose how to live, how to care for oneself, and how to honor the time that remains. No one can control how many years they have, but we can absolutely choose how to make those years meaningful, fulfilling, and joyful. When older adults begin to pay attention to the smallest details, like walking after a meal instead of sitting still, choosing nourishing foods over eating carelessly, keeping the mind light instead of letting worry take over, they are stepping into a new phase of maturity, where wisdom and understanding become steady companions. One of the greatest gifts of old age is time. Time to slow down, to reflect, to return to what truly matters. And among the many daily choices, taking a few minutes to move gently after each meal can be seen as a subtle expression of self-love. A small act, yet full of care and gratitude for the body that has carried us through a lifetime. Being healthy is not just about being free of illness. It's about having the ability to feel joy in simple things. A good night's sleep, a delicious meal, a steady step, or just a peaceful afternoon by the window. These moments, when nurtured each day, come together to form a life of calmness and contentment. And then one day when we look back, we won't remember how far we walked, but how deeply we lived in each gentle step. Those moments after a meal will no longer be just time quietly slipping by, but a daily ritual of love and care for the body, the soul, and the life itself. So if you can start to change, let it begin today. Begin with the smallest thing. Stand up and take a few slow steps after your meal. Breathe deeply and feel your body alive. Let every step be a gentle reminder that you are doing the right thing. For your health, your peace, and your long, meaningful life. Growing older does not mean letting go of the desire to be healthy and joyful. On the contrary, it's a chance to live with more refinement, more intention, and more responsibility for each passing day. And this journey, though it may start with something as small as a walk, can lead to surprising and profound outcomes. So just keep walking, slowly, steadily, and with love.